Welcome to our debut of On the Shelf Movie Edition. My name is Rosemary and this is Brittany. It is our pleasure to talk to you today about movies that you can check out free at the Tulare Public Library. We are pre-recording this video, so if you come and the video we talked about is not in the library, remember you can always request it so that when it does come in, it will be saved for you. Now, did you know October is National Popcorn Popping Month?
Wow.
Yes, and what better food companion when watching movies than popcorn? In this video, we will have paired 6 specific popcorn flavors to a movie genre.
Wonderful. So I'll start it off, Rosemary. So the genre that I am going to start with is comedy. So for comedy fans, the first movie I'm suggesting is called Boy. This is a New Zealand film from 2010. It's not rated, but having seen it, I would say it's probably on par with PG-13. Yeah, so great, definitely a great family film that you could watch with your kids. Now, the popcorn that I am pairing with this is cheese.
Very appropriate.
It's not cheesy, but it was a good pairing, we thought.
Yes.
So, to give you a little bit of information about Boy, so it does take place in New Zealand in 1984, and our main character is an 11-year-old boy that goes by the name Boy. The movie starts off with us understanding that he is going to be watching his younger brother and his cousins all by himself while his grandmother leaves town to attend a funeral. Now, the plot really kicks off when his father unexpectedly re-enters his life. His father, who has been gone since he was a young child when his mother passed away. So this movie is such a heartfelt comedy that explores these family relationships, that explores the growing pains of not only being a child, but of being an adult who doesn't quite know how to have all the answers, I should say. So in this film, Boy must reconcile his image of the heroic father he remembers with the hilarious and flawed and slightly inept father that actually shows up in his life. This movie has so much imagination. One of the things that I love about it is the little brother of Boy imagines himself to have superpowers and represents those in hand drawings. So there's just these elements of magic and childhood that are incorporated that just make it funny, but tug at your heartstrings as well. So this movie,
I'm ready.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Pass the popcorn.
Yes, and when you're watching, some of us turn off before the credits hit, but you want to tune in because during the credits of this film, there is this fantastic version of Michael Jackson's Thriller dance with elements of a Maori haka, which is the indigenous people's ceremonial dance of New Zealand.
Total 80s.
Yes, incorporated because Boy and his father are both huge Michael Jackson fans. So such a good one.
Aww.
Cannot highly recommend it enough.
Oh my goodness. That sounds great. I will definitely have to take a look at it.
Yes.
Now, my movie genre is musicals. And the musical I chose to talk about is Moulin Rouge. Now, what better pairing than with a sweet yet salty kettle corn, popcorn. This popcorn, it's sweet for the sweet love story that prevails throughout the whole movie, yet it's salty for the tears that are shed, not only by the characters, but for us movie watchers as well as we watch this story unfold. This movie is set in 1899 in Paris, and it's about a young writer named Christian, who in the very beginning states he has never fallen in love. So guess what happens, Brittany? Can you falls in love with the star courtesan named Satine, who works at a nightclub called Moulin Rouge. And unfortunately for Christian and Satine, a rich duke also falls for her. So there's just that love trial, jealousy, all that tension. I really enjoyed this movie because of the abundance of creativity shown by the reworking of modern era songs like Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana, all the way to All You Need Is Love by the Beatles. There's also a visual feast for the eyes from the decorative sets, multiple dance numbers, and all the brightly colored costumes. This movie is from 2001 and is rated PG-13 for sexual content, but I can let you know that it actually has very little nudity in it. It runs about 2 hours and 8 minutes. And one fun fact that I found out from the International Movie Database website is if you watch it, you'll see the Duke gives Satine a magnificent diamond necklace. Well, this necklace is actually real. It actually has 1,308 diamonds. And at the time, it was the most expensive piece of jewelry made for a movie at that time. Can you believe that?
I had never heard that. I love pickle, but I never knew that. That is so
Yes.
fascinating.
So
Wow.
there you go, Moulin Rouge with your kettle corn.
Great, I love that. All right, so my next pick is going to be in the action genre. And what I will be suggesting today is Robin Hood. Now, there are many iterations of this story, but this is the 2018 remake starring Taron Egerton and Jamie Foxx. And it is rated PG-13.
Okay.
Now, if you're wondering what I paired it with, hard to guess, but I paired it with dill pickle popcorn.
Oh, dill pickle?
Unusual. And the reason I did is because I think they both, our action film and our popcorn, pack a punch.
Oh, I thought you got it because they were in a pickle.
Oh, that works too. Even better, that works too. That's so great. So speaking to that, speaking of the plot, so in the retelling of this story of Robin Hood, after returning from the Crusades, Robin of Locksley, played by Taron Egerton, trains with the Moorish warrior Little John to become the outlaw Robin Hood, taking up arms against the evil sheriff of Nottingham, and also fighting for the heart of Maid Marian along the way, because of course you need that romantic element.
Absolutely.
I watched this movie a while ago, but the action sequences stuck with me. They are so dynamic, so entertaining. And the other thing that I really liked about this movie is the actor that plays the villain, Ben Mendelsohn. I've seen him as many villains before. He is chilling. So all of the acting is great, but he really, sets it off, because to have really good guys, you have to have that really evil villain, right?
What?
Now, I think the reason that the action sequences come off as so authentic is because I found on IMDb that the YouTube sensation Lars Anderson of Denmark was the one hired to teach the cast archery. He, through his skill set, earned the nickname Real Life Legolas, which, as some of you may know, Legolas is the archer from the movie and books Lord of the Rings. So Lars Anderson is known for things like hitting an incoming arrow in flight and shooting and hitting 3 marks on a bullseye while jumping in the air.
That's awesome.
Amazing. And you can really tell that they got authentic training, because Robin reflects a lot of those skill sets and a lot of that, those quick action sequences. So it's making me want to go home and watch it again. It's really great. So a classic story that you can definitely relate to, but with new, fun, action-packed twists.
Yeah.
All right. So
awesome.
that's Robin Hood.
Yes. And then the next one I have is the romance genre. And I have chosen Red Shoes and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, this animated film would go great with caramel popcorn, one of my personal favorites, because it has all the rich sweetness of romance and cute characters, and the stickiness of obstacles to be overcome by the protagonist. Now, this movie is a parody, as you can guess, on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and it's about seven fearless princes. They're cursed when they attack a fairy princess who they thought was a witch. They're turned into seven mini green dwarfs, and anytime anybody sees them, that's what they see is mini green dwarfs. And in order to break this curse, they must get a kiss from a beautiful princess. Yes. I enjoyed this movie because even though some of the songs were corny, I admit, but you gotta realize it's a romance film. It actually tackled the serious theme of physical versus inner beauty, but in a comical way. So I found that pretty interesting. And you will find similarities with other fairy tale films, but that's okay. That's what a parody is about. So you know what? I say, Brittany, grab a bag of caramel popcorn, sit down with the whole family, and enjoy this cute little film.
I love. And Rosemary, can I clarify? It's good for all ages, but even adults, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a theme that everyone could get something out of. It sounds like.
Absolutely. Sit down with the whole family and enjoy it.
I love it. And that caramel corn, don't forget that.
Yes.
Sounds like a great pick.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so for my last feature, I'm going to be focusing on the genre of classic. And for that, I will actually be suggesting another remake. So I am recommending The Magnificent Seven. Now, this is not the original 1960 film, but rather it is the 2016 remake, which I loved. So this film is rated PG-13, and because it's fitting into the classic genre, of course I have to go with a classic popcorn as well, butter popcorn.
Ooh, of course, of course.
Who could ever turn butter popcorn down? Great for any genre. So in this 2016 remake, it's slightly different than the original, but still has all of the marks of a classic Western. So in this film, 7 gunmen from a variety of backgrounds are brought together by a young widow trying to protect her town from the private army and tyranny of a destructive industrialist. And of course, as many Westerns do, this film culminates in a final battle royale of good versus evil. I love any film that culminates in that. It's just so epic, so exciting, so action-packed. So it has all of the hallmarks of a classic Western, but with some contemporary and modern twists. So if you've seen the original with Steve McQueen and Yul Brynner, but you haven't seen this one, it's definitely worth a watch. And that's what I'm suggesting for my classic, a Western.
Ooh, yeah, excellent. Why not, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, my final film is drama. Now, according to the website masterclass.com, a drama features stories with high stakes and lots of conflicts. They portray real-life scenarios or extreme situations with emotionally driven characters. The drama film I chose is Hidden Figures. Now, with all the ups and downs that this drama has, you need popcorn with an extra sweet kick, like zebra popcorn. Popcorn drizzled with white and dark chocolate over caramel corn. Yes. Now, this movie is based on the true story of 3 female African-American mathematicians, and their names were Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. They actually worked in NASA as human computers during the 1960s when the U.S. was in the space race against Russia. This movie is from 2016 and is rated PG for thematic elements and language and runs 2 hours and 7 minutes. Now, the reason why I enjoyed this movie was I found it very exciting as a person that didn't live during that era, to see the obstacles of racism, but also discrimination against females working in a male-dominated world, it was inspirational to me as a female, but also as a minority, that if you persevere, you can achieve great things in your life. The main character, who was based on Katherine Johnson, she was actually awarded the Presidential Freedom Award by Barack Obama in 2015. Yes, she graduated from high school at 14 and then college at 18. So you're talking about a very brilliant mind. And but don't think this is too highbrow. Like it's just a great family film. Like I said, it's about a period in U.S. history where the whole nation got together. Despite differences in races, it was the coming together of America during that time. So there you have it, our 6 genres and our 6 flavors of popcorn. I say it's time to eat, Brittany. What about you?
I think so too.
Oh my gosh, after
this
this.
classic. So make sure that you all at home during the month of October are enjoying your popcorn as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. We had so much fun doing this, didn't we, Rosemary?
Yes, we did.
And I just want to remind you all that for upcoming programs, both in person and virtual, please check our website calendar on our website listed at the screen below. Just a great way to just make sure that you're plugged in with the library as we start to bring more and more programs to you in the future. And we are on YouTube, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tulare Public Library, where you can find all virtual programs for both kids and adults. So some great resources above and beyond when you're watching and checking out the films that we suggested today. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you soon.